welcome to the Frangella Football Frenzy podcast. My name is Gianni Frangella, and I am here with Sean Ullison, former Southern University football player. Sean, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How's it going, my friend?
Doing good, no complaints. Today, we're going to be talking about the Guardian Cap helmet protector that is used now in the NFL legally in-game. But first, I want to ask you a couple questions about your own personal experience with football.
Yeah, let's do it.
When did you start playing football?
I started playing football when I was in fourth grade. I believe, around 10 years old when I started. So it's been a good amount of time now, almost 11, 12 years. Yeah.
Wow. What's been your experience with concussions or head injuries in your 12 years of playing?
So I got lucky during high school when I played O-line, D-line, to have never actually gotten a concussion that I know of. I've had a few times, where my head was hurting a little bit, but I didn't really know exactly if it was a concussion. And in college, I played long snapper, and I've been fortunate enough that no one has decided to take me out. So I've been lucky enough to not have dealt with concussions so far, to my knowledge.
So did you switch to long snapper when you got to college?
Yeah, so I played long snapper in high school. We were having an Under Armour All-American camp at my high school. I remember seeing people that were playing my position, O-line, D-line, fullback, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm only 5'9", 200 pounds at the time. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be a starting center on an SEC team. So I decided to be a little more realistic with myself. And if I really want to be a D1 athlete, I should start taking special teams a little more seriously. So my second year of high school is when I was really switched the focus from, okay, I know I'll be playing in the games in high school as O-lineman, but I know for a fact in college, it's only going to be long snapping.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Real quick, I want to bring up the Guardian Cap. So it actually started in 2010 by a company called the Hanson Group, and they started off with kids playing Little League, kids playing high school, and eventually they worked their way up the ranks. And then in 2022 is when the NFL started mandating it for certain positions in practice. Now they're all mandated to wear in practice, and now a lot of college teams use them in practice, including you guys at Southern University. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. Yep, we do.
So what was your experience using the Guardian Cap?
Honestly, I used them during fall camp, I believe it was. They put it on every player's helmet. Even the kickers got one, just in case, I guess you could say. I have no problem with them at all. I did see last year, I remember during when the NFL season started, I was looking on Instagram and I saw there was a Steelers player. He was the only one on the line, but I saw he had a Guardian cap, and they even made his own logo on the cap. It's almost just included a part of the helmet. Me personally, I've only gotten into contact a few times to where I would do some drills with the linebackers, and I can definitely say it reduced the impact of a hit for sure. I mean, it's a whole nother cushion.
Yeah.
Kind of sometimes when you get hit really hard, you'll have a ring in and wow, you'll get that. But it definitely reduced that by a lot. I'll say that for sure.
So you could feel the lessening of contact.
Definitely.
Did it feel kind of weird on your head? Did it feel could you really feel like something else was there?
Honestly, other than maybe little part of the strap that might hang out and you might see it flapping when you're running. But not really, no, because you don't really see it, you know what I mean? It's on the top of your helmet. So when you're locked in the middle of a play, you're not really remembering, it's just, it's just kind of there anyway.
Yeah.
So
one complaint that certain NFL players made about it was that it gets very hot because your vents in your helmet are covered up by the cap. Was that your experience at all? Obviously, down here in the southern heat, it's really hot. But
honestly, it does get really hot here. I don't even really care if it makes a difference, honestly, because it's just so hot anyway. I don't think number one, we didn't have a yes or no. You couldn't take it off, because there's a team mandate thing to have it on. However, but I don't think it really made that big of a difference. I think it was equally hot. I think the NFL, with the amount of millions of dollars they do, they should just put more fans inside the helmets. So
you mentioned earlier that you saw a player in the Steelers who was wearing a helmet in game, and that's actually because last year, 2024, the NFL allowed players to wear the Guardian caps in game. And what the critique has been for that is that it's very aesthetically off-putting. It's just big giant padding on your helmet. And like you alluded to, they have the wrap that kind of is of the team helmet decal. But a lot of players seem to be dissuaded from wanting to use it because of the way it looks. As a player yourself and being around other players, do you think that a lot of players are thinking about that, about the way that they look while they're playing?
If we're keeping it honest, like I think when that new Speed Flex came out, not the one in 2015 with that one, those look amazing. Those are the ones we use at Southern now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the brand new Speed Flexes that they use. It looks like you're wearing like a motorcycle helmet.
But it doesnn't have the bar on top of the.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think the day those came out, aesthetics kind of went out the window anyway. I think the day those came out, I feel like aesthetics went out the window. But I mean, as a football player, I don't think. I mean, aesthetic matters, of course, but I mean, safety is the number one thing.
Yeah.
At least for me, that was always the number one thing. And longevity is the most important thing. So if something you can't even see matters to you that much, I don't think you really love football. You're worried about other things. You know what I mean? So
good point. In the year that the NFL has implemented allowing players to wear them in game, they have seen a 17% drop in concussions, and the lowest rate of concussions that the NFL's ever had. And they originally, when they allowed players to wear them in practice in 2022, they allowed players to try them out in the preseason. They saw a 52% drop in concussions then. So it has proven to be effective, to your point, that it's simply about whether or not they value how they look or not, whether they value being safe. And so my next question for you is, given this measure that the NFL has taken, how do you think the NFL has done either a good or bad job of prioritizing player safety? As
an NFL, I think they truly have this business down. I agree with how they're running things right now. I feel like if a player, wants to use one, I feel like they should never take that right away from a player. I mean, we can get that out the way. I think that it should definitely be an option. And most players, I feel like they're going to catch on after a while. And they're going to want to start using them after they see, at least if you're a smart player, I mean, you're going to want to start using. So I feel like NFL players, they all usually have like therapy sessions. They have therapists for their therapy sessions. They have life coaches. They're taken care of. They're people. So once they can see, everything, I feel like after a while, people around them, if they don't realize, are going to let them know, like, hey, like if you want to longevity, if you want to stay in this league longer, something you should personally be using. So I feel like O-line and D-line, and honestly, like for all the young athletes out there that are O-linemen and D-linemen, it's like, why not use one, because you're taking a hit to the head more than a linebacker and running back are. You are literally taking a hit to the head every single play. And it's kind of like a matter at this point of, do you want to take a hit with a little bit of cushioning, or you just want to take a hit with less cushioning,
Yeah.
So that's kind of a no-brainer.
It seems like a simple choice. Right?
If I was playing O-line, if I was 6'5", 330 pounds, I would choose to wear one in a game.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. So in conclusion, we went over the history of the Guardian Cap, how we brought it to the NFL, went over our friend Sean's football history, going from offensive lineman, defensive lineman in high school to a long snapper at Southern University. Then we also went over the effectiveness, the statistics that show how well the Guardian Cap has helped, and whether or not we think there's a future for more involvement and more rules regarding the Guardian Cap. This has been the Frangella Frenzy Football Podcast. Thank you to our friend Sean. You listen for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Of course.
And we will see you next time.